Hey guys, Tyler here with Revvin Reviews. Today we're talking about the 2017 Chevy Camaro ZL1. Now a couple of days ago, or actually last week sometime, we created a video called the Camaro GT4.R. That video a lot of you guys liked, and a lot of you guys actually commented and talked to us and told us about your feedback and things like that. And I was really excited about that. I really enjoyed that video and I enjoyed producing it and researching it. I'm not much of a race guy, but when it came to researching that, I really kind of got interested in racing. Now, the Camaro GT4.R obviously is a track-only car, so you can't drive it on the street. It's completely illegal here in the States and anywhere else that you go. But when it comes to a street-legal race version, if you will, of the Camaro, the ZL1 is really where it's at. The Camaro ZL1 has been around for a little while, here and there. It's been around since back in the 60s or the 70s, but it's kind of come back and come back and come back and gone away and come back and gone away and come back and gone away, which is kind of sad and kind of cool because there's a limited amount of them and only certain models have them. But when it comes to the ZL1 has some outstanding performance, and Motor Trend just did an amazing test on this car that proves that this car is great. This car is producing over 200 miles an hour, and that's second to none when it comes to the amount of money that you're paying for it. I mean, just off the top of my head, cars that go over 200 miles an hour is like a Ferrari 458 Italia. I think a couple Porsche 911s do as well. But you don't really hear about cars going over 200 miles an hour. And obviously, don't get me wrong, you're not going to go over 200 miles an hour, or I hope you aren't going to go over 200 miles an hour on the street. But when it comes to the track, if you get in a wide open road, or a wide open stretch, might as well take it. So this car is going 200 miles an hour in one direction, or 202 miles an hour rather in one direction, and 193 in the other direction. The difference is because of wind and things like that. So the technical top speed for the Camaro ZL1 isn't 202 miles an hour. Although it would be cool to have that as your technical top speed, the actual top speed that they're proclaiming is 198, because it's an average of the two, and it brings it in the middle, and it's just saying, hey, this is about top speed. Even though the top speed of the car, actually the top speed ever recorded, the highest speed ever recorded is 202 miles an hour. They averaged it out just to get away from the skeptics. So when it comes to this, obviously you're going to be curious as to how do they do it. How do they take a Camaro that's normally like a $30,000 car and produce over 200 miles an hour and drive in both directions? And how do they do it? How do they perform at such a high standard? Well, I'll tell you. So the Camaro, obviously they took out the regular powertrain of a V6 or a regular V8, and they took the Corvette engine, the Z06 engine, and they took it out of the Z06 and they popped it in the Camaro body. So this Z06 engine produces 650 foot-pound of torque and 650 horsepower as well. That's very easy to remember for me as a car guy and for most anybody else, because it's equal numbers. You never get that, but it's nice with the Camaro, or with the Corvette engine rather. So they took this Corvette engine out. It's a 6.2 liter V8. It's supercharged, and they put it into this Camaro, which is quite cool. They also added an additional option for a transmission. It's a 10-speed automatic now, so you can choose the 6-speed manual, which is what I would personally choose, because I just like manual. My truck's a manual. Every car that I love is a manual, so I would choose a manual. But you can also choose the 10-speed automatic, which is what they chose for in this top speed run. So you can choose the 10-speed automatic, or you can choose the 6-speed manual. They took the spoiler in the back, and rather than having a blade spoiler, there's a couple differences when it comes to this, but they added a stanchion spoiler in the back. We'll show you a couple pictures here, and you can kind of tell the difference side by side. And then they also took, when it comes to your transmission, your gears get hot in there, so you obviously have transmission fluid, and everybody knows about that. But they had an auxiliary transmission oil cooler, and it was producing a little bit of drag and some uneven air down there, so they made a new cover for it that goes right over it, and creates actually more downforce in the front, which is better because you need that traction up there, as well as the traction in the back provided by the stanchion spoiler. You have the magnetic ride control that's offered in the Camaro. It helps you out around corners and stuff like that. and it also gives it gives you different dynamics when it comes to the suspension. You don't always want to be driving like a Dodge Viper ACR, although that is a cool car for the track. You always want to have that ability to be able to, hey, I want to drive this to Walmart, or oh, I want to drive this down the street and not have to hurt yourself in the process. And then lastly, they need to stop this beast, because this thing weighs 3,926 pounds, so they need to stop it. So they went to Brembo, one of the best brake companies around, and they said, hey, we need a set of brakes. So Brembo provided them with 6-piston calipers for all the way around the car, and it's able to stop the car from 60 to 0. Now, mind you, this is 3,926 pounds, so almost 4,000 pounds, almost 2 tons. It's able to stop the car from 60 to 0 in 96 feet, which is very impressive, because if you guys aren't into cars very much, or you're new to the car scene, anything that's under 100 feet from a 0 to 60, or from 60 to 0 rather, is impressive. So if you get even 100 feet exact, or 99, it's like, whoa, that's an amazing feat. So getting 96 feet with a 4,000 pound car is insane. And then finally, let me give you some specs about this really quick. It did the 0 to 60 test, which is what most cars are rated off of, just in form of acceleration. 0 to 60 in about 3.5 seconds, which is very, very high class, considering this car starts at $63,000. And then it also did the quarter mile in 11.5 seconds at 125 miles an hour, which is decent. I mean, it's not close to 10 seconds. You're still a second and a half off, and it's not up in like the 160, 170 range, but it's still a decent production in that. But yeah, so anyways, I want to ask you guys this. What do you guys think about this car? Obviously, like I said, I'm very biased about the cars that I talk about. I really enjoy a lot of these cars. So most of every car that I talk about, unless it's a negative review or a negative article, I'm going to talk about it positively, and I'm going to want it. I want the ZL1. So I want to ask you guys your honest opinion. What do you guys think about the ZL1? I mean, it is some form of a Camaro GT4.R, but what do you guys think about it? Would you guys buy it? Would you guys not? And if you guys say you would buy it, what would you use it for? Would you use it for a track and street car? Like you would drive it to the track and go on the track and then just drive it around for fun? Or would you use it as solely a track car? Or would you use it as solely a street car? I want you guys to leave that in the comments below, or give it to us on our social media accounts. And with that, I want to leave you guys with those questions. Comment below, answer survey above, put it on our social media accounts. Have a great day, guys.